Having seen the general considerations for the unidirectional type of flows in the last lecture, we had simplified the Navier-Stokes equations for different types of four types of flow configurations that are classified under the category of unidirectional flows. So for those four types, we had simplified the equations. Now it is time to examine some solutions from those simplified equations. So this lecture is on the exact solutions for type 1 flow configuration, which is the unidirectional flow in channels, or fully developed unidirectional flow in channels. So learning objectives for this lecture are obtaining the solutions for wide channel flows. We will soon understand what do we mean by wide. So these wide channel flow solutions are popular in fluid mechanics literature by the name of Quetelet-Poiseuille flows. Quet and Poiseuille, these are two actually special solutions of wide channel flows we will show later on. So the combined general case is that of a combined general wide channel flow, which is known by the name of Quetelet-Poiseuille flow. Then we will proceed to understand the behavior of these solutions along with their special cases. And of course, of engineering interest is the relationships between flow rates and driving force relations, or rather I can say relations between flow rate and driving force. So let us move ahead. So we can now directly pick the reduced equations that we had derived in the last lecture. So for type 1 flow configuration, we have seen that in fact for type 1 and type 2 both have same type of simplification, and we end up with the same momentum equation along the flow direction. So the solutions for flows in wide channels, let us consider them. So solutions I will consider independently for type 1 and type 2, while the generic simplification for both of them is same. So solutions for incompressible homogeneous constant property unidirectional flow of a Newtonian fluid is the first of the series of exact solutions that is usually discussed in most of the textbooks. So we are following the same sort of order, you can say, of discussion. The governing equation is the flow direction में जो x direction है जिसमें flow हो रहा है, उसमें ये governing equation हमने last lecture में already derive कर लिया था. And the u velocity in general is a function of y, z and t, and motion pressure is a function of x and t. So let us now move forward with looking at what do we mean by a wide channel flow. So I've drawn a figure here, and as I've stated below, the figure shows a channel having a gap of h, and it is filled with some Newtonian fluid. So the properties are rho naught mu naught. The coordinate axes are shown, are as shown. So x is along the flow direction, y is across the channel gap, and z is let's say pointing out of the plane of the figure. So the z-axis is pointing out of the plane of figure. The flow is caused by the combined effect of a steadily moving upper surface. So notice that I have written some conditions. These are exactly the no slip conditions on the bottom and top walls. Because why no slip? Because the velocity is u, which is tangential to the surface. So we need conditions which are for the tangential velocity. So that's why we use the no slip conditions. So the lower surface is a stationary, so small u is 0 there, and the upper surface is considered to be moving steadily with a velocity capital U. Now this is not the only force or the cause of motion of the fluid. We in general assume that there is some motion pressure gradient also which is driving the flow. So if you look at equation G.1, which is written on the top of the figure, it clearly shows you that if there is a motion pressure gradient along the positive x direction, so it will make it will drive the flow, because there is a forcing term there minus del pm del x. सो जनरल डिस्कशन के लिए हम दोनों ही कॉजेज लेके चल रहे हैं, मोशन प्रेशर ग्रेडियंट एज वेल एज मोशन ऑफ द अपर सरफेस, upper planar surface. So now we talk about what do we mean by a wide channel. Well, the first simplification that we do to the general sort of momentum equation for type 1 unidirectional flow configuration is that we assume that the channel sort of depth by depth means the size which is into the plane of the paper, okay, or plane of the figure rather. तो जो नॉर्मल टू द पेपर आप अगर विजुलाइज करें तो जो विड्थ होगी चैनल की उसको हम विड्थ बोल रहे हैं. दैट विड्थ इफ इट इज़ वेरी लार्ज इन कंपैरिजन टू लेट्स से द गैप h, then we can mathematically argue that the variations along y directions, second derivative and all derivatives first and second, they will all be in general much larger than the corresponding derivatives along z direction. That is physically because along z direction there is more length scale available for the variation than in case of y direction. So y direction में चूँकि the gap is less or the space is less for the velocity to vary, so the variation will be much sharper and much larger. So that's why the second derivative is considered to be much larger along y in comparison to along z. So under this sort of simplifying approximation, I would say, assuming wide channels, we can neglect the del 2u del z square term in G.1, and therefore we look for a steady solution of this type, because we are neglecting all variations with z, so and we are looking for a steady solution. So as I've mentioned, we look for a steady solution first. So steady means it is no longer going to be a function of time, all flow variables, and z dependency is also gone. So u is a function of y and motion pressure is now a function of x alone. So अब आप इसमें ये कह सकते हैं कि भाई अगर हम प्रैक्टिकली लैब में स्टार्ट करते हैं इस तरह का फ्लो, तो देयर हैज़ टू बी अ सर्टेन ट्रांजिएंट टाइम इफेक्ट प्रेजेंट टिल वी गेट अ स्टेडी स्टेट. तो जैसा मैंने पहले भी बताया कि हर फ्लो का एक अपना अगर वो स्टेडी स्टेट अचीव करेगा तो वो कोई इंस्टेंटेनियसली नहीं होगा जैसे ही आप फ्लो स्टार्ट करेंगे. देयर विल ऑलवेज बी अ ट्रांजिएंट फ्लो बिल्डअप. तो वो जो ट्रांजिएंट है वो फिलहाल हम अभी नहीं उसमें इंटरेस्टेड हैं, हम नहीं उसको सॉल्व कर रहे हैं. वी आर नॉट इंटरेस्टेड इन ट्रांजिएंट स्टार्टअप ऑफ अ क्वेट पॉइसेल फ्लो और फ्लो इन अ वाइड चैनल. हम व्हाट वी आर इंटरेस्टेड इन इज द स्टेडी फाइनल स्टेडी स्टेट सॉल्यूशन दैट वी आर गोइंग टू गेट. सो the equation G.1 now simplifies to this. So interestingly now because density plays a role only in the local acceleration term on the left. So if you are looking for a steady solution, then the term on the left goes to 0 and there is no role of density now. So density doesn't play any role in this solution that we are now going to develop. And the ordinary and the partial derivatives del pm del x is same as ordinary, because motion pressure is only a function of x, and the same argument applies to the u velocity. Del u del y is equal to du dy. So the above equation is applicable for, you can now say that the equation that we have just written above in the box having ordinary derivatives is applicable for steady unidirectional flow of a Newtonian fluid in wide channels, of course incompressible homogeneous constant property. So now let's go ahead with the solution. So first thing we notice is that the equation can be written like this. On the left I have written the pressure gradient, motion pressure gradient, and on the right you have the viscous term, you can say, of the momentum equation. Then left hand side is a pure function of x, whereas on the right hand side I have a pure function of y. Why? Because Pm is only a function of x and u is a function of y. Remember that. So that's why this equation has this appearance, you can say. So once this is there, we can say that the solution is possible only if both are equal to a constant, because otherwise you can't have a function of x matching with a function of y for all values of x and y. So the only possibility of obtaining a solution is that both the terms are a constant, equal to a constant. So let the constant be k. Physically k represents the motion pressure gradient. So k जो symbol हमने choose किया वो एक तरह का motion pressure gradient ही हो गया. And from here you can see that the velocity differential equation and motion pressure differential equation are get decoupled. दोनों separate out हो गए, अलग हो गए, because you both of them are equated to a same constant. So motion pressure therefore varies linearly with x, because if you integrate the motion pressure differential equation you get the solution of the type kx plus c. So linear variation of motion pressure along streamline. So this is the first conclusion coming out of your white channel solution, steady solution, कि motion pressure जो है वो linearly vary करता चला जाएगा along the flow direction or streamlines. Now let's see what happens to the velocity. So the second derivative is now constant, so k by mu naught it becomes, and the second derivative, अब इसको दो बार इंटीग्रेट कर लेते हैं, तो इफ़ यू इंटीग्रेट इट ट्वाइस with respect to y, then you get this solution, because this is an ordinary differential equation, you can readily integrate. So uy is equal to k by 2 mu naught y square plus ay plus b. Now a and b are two arbitrary constants. Remember, there are still some boundary conditions to be applied to this general solution. So second order है differential equation, so we get two constants and we have two boundary conditions in y direction. So the two boundary conditions are y is equal to 0 is u0 and y is equal to h is u is equal to capital U. So if I use these, then I can get my constants as b will be 0 and a will be this value u by h minus kh by 2 mu naught. So if I plug them back, I get the solution with a little bit simplification, what I have written in the red box below. ये solution हमारा आ गया. Interestingly, अगर आप इसमें देखें तो उसको deliberately दो अलग parts में करके लिखा गया है. First part is the linear part, and this is exactly the contribution made by the upper moving surface. है ना, कैपिटल U की वजह से ये कंट्रीब्यूशन है. अगर कैपिटल U जीरो कर दें तो ये वाला टर्म जीरो हो जाएगा, लीनियर पार्ट जो है. सो दैट्स व्हाई वी से दैट दिस इज कंट्रीब्यूटेड बाय द मूवमेंट ऑफ द अपर सरफेस. यानी ये जो वेलोसिटी को कंट्रीब्यूशन आ रहा है ये अपर सरफेस के मोशन से आ रहा है. द अदर पार्ट विच इज द क्वाड्रेटिक पार्ट, y by h into 1 minus y by h. So you can see that it is due to the mean motion pressure gradient. dpm dx जो k के बराबर है उसी की वजह से है ये. इफ़ आई टेक दैट टू बी ज़ीरो, अगर k को मैं ज़ीरो ले लेता हूँ तो ये वाला पार्ट वेनिश हो जाएगा. सो द क्वाड्रेटिक पार्ट इज कंट्रीब्यूटेड बाय द मीन मोशन प्रेशर ग्रेडियंट. Now notice that in the first part there is no viscosity, so it means जो ये बड़ा इंट्रीगिंग और इंटरेस्टिंग एस्पेक्ट है कि हालांकि नो स्लिप कंडीशन की वजह से ये कंट्रीब्यूशन आता है, because of the no slip the u velocity is getting communicated to inside the interior fluid flow particles, but because of the nature of the flow unidirectional और वो सब आपने जो पहले से कंडीशंस इम्पोज की हुई हैं फ्लो के ऊपर, तो वो सब की वजह से फाइनल जो इक्वेशन का आउटकम है उसमें विस्कोसिटी का कोई रोल नहीं है फर्स्ट टर्म में. दैट मीन्स जो लीनियर पार्ट है. बट सेकेंड पार्ट में देर इज द प्रेजेंस ऑफ विस्कोसिटी म्यू नॉट जो कि डिनोमिनेटर में है. सो इट मीन्स दैट प्रेशर ग्रेडियंट जो फोर्स है वो तो विस्कोसिटी उसमें रोल प्ले कर रही है जो वेलोसिटी में कंट्रीब्यूशन आ रहा है. बट for the velocity solution, due to the movement of the upper surface under the restrictive conditions of unidirectional flow जो हमने मान रखा है, उसमें फिर विस्कोसिटी का कोई रोल नहीं आ रहा है. and you get a simple linear distribution u y by h. So the actual velocity is a combination of the two. So that's why both parts are getting superimposed upon each other to give you the net u velocity. So this is what we have. We can say this is the Couette-Poiseuille flow solution. Okay. And now the above classical viscous flow solution is a superposition of flow caused by motion of upper surface and imposed motion pressure gradient. I have already mentioned this. Notice now the special cases है ना, इसमें से special cases हम बना सकते हैं. एक केस ये हो सकता है कि pressure gradient is 0, mean pressure gradient is 0 and the upper surface is moving, and the other special case would be the upper surface is also fixed and but there is a mean motion pressure gradient. Okay, so the sign of the quadratic part depends upon, now this is something interesting. If you look at the quadratic part, it is preceded with a minus sign. So sign of the quadratic part depends upon sign of k only. Why I am saying k only? Because y by h into 1 minus y by h is always positive, because as y by h only lies between 0 and 1. क्योंकि y by h 0 1 के बीच में लाई करता है, because y varies from 0 to h. So it means that y by h multiplied by 1 minus y by h, ये क्वांटिटी पॉजिटिव ही रहेगी. तो इसका मतलब जो साइन है सेकंड टर्म का वो प्योरली k पे डिपेंडेंट है. अगर k पॉजिटिव है तब फिर ये नेगेटिव होगा सेकंड पार्ट का साइन, और अगर k नेगेटिव है तब ये पॉजिटिव हो जाएगा. तो इसका मतलब ये हुआ जा करके कि एज आई हैव रिटन इंटरेस्टिंगली इन द पैराग्राफ बिलो कि इफ u इज पॉजिटिव, ओके, and k is positive, then the motion pressure gradient and u oppose each other. Why they oppose each other? Because then you have a minus sign in between. तो जो नेट ड्राइविंग वेलोसिटी जो निकल के आएगी चैनल के अंदर, वो जो वेलोसिटी है वो दोनों के सब्ट्रैक्शन से जो नेट वैल्यू आएगी वो आएगी. तो इसलिए हम इस केस को कहते हैं adverse pressure gradient. Okay, so when k is positive and u is positive, we have a adverse pressure gradient or opposing pressure gradient case. And if u is positive and k is negative, then the two causes aid each other, resulting in higher velocities, क्योंकि दोनों part add होने लगेंगे because k is negative. तो ये k नेगेटिव वाला केस जो है, दिस इज नोन एज अ फेवरेबल प्रेशर ग्रेडियंट केस और एडिंग सिनेरियो, और जो k पॉजिटिव है वो एडवर्स प्रेशर ग्रेडियंट और अपोजिंग सिनेरियो. ओके, सो लेट अस नाउ लुक एट सॉल्यूशंस विद स्पेशल केसेस. जनरल सॉल्यूशन तो हमने निकाल ही लिया है, अब स्पेशल केसेस को क्विकली देख लेते हैं. सो फर्स्ट केस इज आई टेक जीरो प्रेशर ग्रेडियंट and non-zero velocity of the upper surface. So this type of a flow was first talked about by Couette himself. Couette is the name of the scientist who first gave this solution, exact solution. तो इसीलिए इस फ्लो को हम Couette flow भी कहते हैं. तो Couette flow क्या है कि it is the unidirectional flow induced in a wide channel due to the motion of the or relative motion of the upper surface in relation to the lower surface. So that is what is Couette flow, and you can readily see that the solution is u as a function of y is equal to capital U y by h. So velocity does not depend on viscosity, and interestingly rather there is, तो आप कैसा भी fluid ले लें, अगर Couette flow है तो the answer of velocity doesn't depend on the nature of the fluid. आप एयर ले लें, वाटर ले लें, ऑयल ले लें, कोई भी फ्लूइड ले लें, सबका यही सोल्यूशन आएगा, कैपिटल U y by h. ओके, सो गैप की थिकनेस h उसमें इन्वॉल्व है और जो अपर सरफेस की वेलोसिटी है u, दैट इज इन्वॉल्व. सो इट्स अ लीनियर वेरिएशन. सो आई हैव प्लॉटेड इट ऑन द राइट हैंड साइड, एक्सट्रीम राइट, यू कैन सी अ स्मॉल फिगर. तो उसमें जनरली यू नो व्हेन वी प्लॉट दीज वेलोसिटी प्रोफाइल्स, वी, क्योंकि चैनल में हम y कोऑर्डिनेट के अलॉन्ग u का वेरिएशन देख रहे हैं, तो वी जो प्रोफाइल्स के प्लॉट करने का स्टैंडर्ड मेथड है वो थोड़ा सा फर्क है. ऑल्दो इट इज u इज अ फंक्शन ऑफ y बाई एच, तो u को हमें y एक्सिस पे लेना चाहिए और y बाई एच को x एक्सिस पे. But traditionally, because you need to you would like to map this with the vertical with the channel gap. Okay, ये आप ये देखना चाहते हो कि चैनल गैप में अलग अलग पॉइंट्स पे y बाई एच के कैसे मेरा u वैरी करेगा. So normally we when we plot these kind of velocity profiles, we take the geometric information or the coordinates along the डायरेक्शन जिसमें कि वो एक्चुअली है हमारी ज्योमेट्री में. तो बिकॉज ज्योमेट्री में y वाज द गैप, y वाज द कोऑर्डिनेट विच वाज अलोंग द गैप ऑफ द चैनल, तो वो उसी तरह से वो दिखाया गया है इन द ग्राफ ऑल्सो. सो y बाई एच वैरीज फ्रॉम 0 to 1. And so u, I'm not plotting simply u, I'm actually taking the ratio with capital U. So it's like a dimensionless variable plot, है ना. u by capital U would become a dimensionless velocity and y by h becomes the dimensionless y coordinate. तो अगर आप dimensionless variables में plot बनाएंगे तो it will be a straight line 45 degrees पे 0 to 1 and 0 to 1. So it means जब y by h 1 हो जाएगा तो u by u will be also unity or 1, and when y by h is 0, it is u by u is 0. So it's like a 45 degree straight line varying from 0 to 1. Okay, in a unidirectional flow, since u is a function of y and we don't have any other velocity, तो हम ये प्रूव कर सकते हैं कि we have only one component of viscous stress tensor. So viscous stress tensor जिसमें 6 independent components हैं, 3 नॉर्मल और 3 शेयर, तो उसमें हम दिखा सकते हैं कि सारे स्ट्रेस ऑल कंपोनेंट सिग्मा एक्स एक्स, सिग्मा वाई वाई, सिग्मा जेड जेड, दे विल ऑल बी ज़ीरो. इवन सिग्मा वाई जेड विल बी ज़ीरो एंड सिग्मा जेड एक्स विल बी ज़ीरो. यू कैन रिफर बैक टू माई कॉन्स्टिट्यूटिव रिलेशन एंड न्यूटोनियन फ्लूइड्स के लिए जहाँ पे मैंने लेक्चर में बात करी है, वो लेक्चर्स आप देख सकते हैं टू कंफर्म दिस. एंड सो दैट हैज़ टू बी केप्ट इन माइंड कि सारे स्ट्रेस ज़ीरो हैं, तीनों नॉर्मल और 2 शेयर. ओके, सिग्मा वाई जेड भी ज़ीरो है और सिग्मा जेड एक्स भी ज़ीरो है. ओके, so what is left? We are left with only one shear stress component which is non-zero, which is sigma yx. And sigma yx या sigma xy कह लें, वो बराबर ही होगा. तो sigma yx is equal to magnitude में sigma xy बराबर होगा, but of course sigma xy physically is a totally different direction stress in comparison to sigma yx. Sigma yx directly हमारे इंटरेस्ट का है because it is the stress along x direction, so or shear, it gives the shear force along x direction, so that's why I'm writing sigma yx. Sigma yx is mu naught and the general relation is del v del x plus del u del y, and since the flow doesn't have any v velocity, so the first term is 0 and you are left with the mu naught and of course partial derivative becoming the ordinary derivative du dy. So since I know my solution now, u मुझे पता है as a function of y, so I can calculate these derivatives and get the shear stress. So for Couette flow I can say that sigma yxv, Couette flow में u is just capital U y by h, so I'll get du dy as u naught u capital U by h. So sigma yxv is simply mu naught u by h. Now none of these things are variable, right? Mu naught u and h, these are fixed numbers for the flow, for the Couette flow. So which shows that the shear stress is constant throughout the gap of the or the space in which the fluid is moving. Okay, so the shear stress is constant. Thus it is the same value whatever is existing at the top, at the middle, or anywhere in the fluid at the bottom. So it is the same, mu naught u by h. So thus shear force exerted on the moving surface, जो आपका ऊपर surface जिसको आप move कर रहे हैं उस पर जो shear force exert होगी on the exerted on the moving surface and on the lower stationary, तो चाहे वो upper surface पे निकालें आप shear force या lower surface पे निकालें shear force stationary surface पे, per unit area अगर आप निकालते हैं तो वो ये stress के बराबर होगी mu naught u by h. तो shear forces per unit area on the top and bottom surfaces, टॉप वाला मूविंग है, बॉटम वाला स्टेशनरी है, तो उन दोनों पे बराबर है म्यू नॉट यू बाई एच. But you are only going to spend energy or power in on the moving surface, क्योंकि lower surface तो stationary है, तो there will be no work done or power spent in for that surface, because that is not moving. So power spent per unit area in moving the upper surface is nothing but force into the velocity, because force and velocity are aligned to each other. So since I am taking power spent per unit area, so I will consider force per unit area into velocity. So force per unit area is the stress value at the upper surface, which is the same everywhere. So mu naught u by h and multiplied by u, so I get the u square term. So it means that the power spent in moving the upper surface per unit area is proportional to u square, and directly proportional to viscosity and inversely proportional to the gap. So this is interesting from engineering point of view, that if I suppose double the velocity, I will need 4 times more power. Okay, so it is going to rise very fast if I increase the velocity of the upper surface, and it is just directly proportional to mu naught. And so if I reduce the gap, I will increase the power. If I increase the gap, I will reduce the power. So all these things are readily observable from this relation. Now मूविंग टू दी अदर स्पेशल केस. ये पहला स्पेशल केस था हमारा जो हमने जनरल सोल्यूशन निकाला है टाइप 1 का वाइड चैनल में स्टेडी सोल्यूशन. तो उसका पहला स्पेशल केस इज स्क्वेट फ्लो. नाउ वी मूव टू द अदर स्पेशल केस विच इज फ्लो ड्रिवन बाय मोशन प्रेशर ग्रेडियंट ओनली, एंड देयर इज नो मोशन ऑफ द अपर सरफेस. सो कैपिटल U is 0 and motion pressure gradient is non-zero. And this flow was first introduced, rather इसकी जो solution है वो first introduced to us by Poiseuille himself. So we know it by the name of Poiseuille flow. Okay. So Uy in this case is again वो general solution में हम capital U 0 रख देते हैं. So we simply get this second part, quadratic part, as the solution for Poiseuille flow. And in this we can very easily see that if k is negative, then Uy is positive and vice versa. So it means अगर आपको positive x direction में flow कराना है, so you need to have a negative motion pressure gradient along that direction. Negative motion pressure gradient का मतलब है कि motion pressure must decrease in that direction. तो इसका जो final जो conclusion है वो ये है कि the flow in the case of Poiseuille flow, the flow takes place in the direction of decreasing motion pressure. Okay, this is important. So again I repeat, the flow takes place in the direction of decreasing motion pressure. So for Poiseuille flow, there is no loss of generality if we always take k as negative, क्योंकि वो सिर्फ direction को पलटता है velocity के, either from left to right or from right to left. So for discussion purposes we simply say that okay, I'll always take k as negative so that I get a flow in the positive x direction. So k without any loss of generality, I assume it to be negative for as far as Poiseuille flow is concerned. तो Poiseuille flow में मैं k नेगेटिव ही मानूंगा. ओके, मोशन प्रेशर ग्रेडियंट इज नेगेटिव. Now I can plot this quadratic function. So if you look at this carefully, we have a parabolic profile. Again on the y-axis I have y by h. It's not written very clearly, pardon me for that, but it is y by h, again varies from 0 to 1, and I have u on the x-axis. And so since the profile is quadratic or parabolic, so I have a maxima at 0.5. Okay, because y by h into 1 minus y by h will be maximum when y by h is equal to half. So y by h half पे ये दोनों टर्म्स का प्रोडक्ट मैक्सिमम होगा, और मैक्सिमम वैल्यू विल बी half into half, so it makes it 1 by 4, and further there is a factor of 2 in the denominator, so it gives you minus kh square by 8 mu naught. Okay, so minus kh square by 8 mu naught is the maximum channel center line velocity. Okay, क्योंकि y by h 0.5 का मतलब है you are in the middle of the channel. Okay, तो वहां पे आपको एक मैक्सिमा मिलेगा which has a magnitude minus kh square by 8 mu naught, and on either side the velocity will decrease symmetrically to zero values, because in Poisson flow neither the lower surface nor the upper surface is moving, so the velocity must satisfy the no slip conditions, so eventually it has to go to zero on both sides. So now once you understand this graphically, let's go to shear stress. Shear stress again is directly, again I don't need to repeat now, so there is only one shear stress present in the flow, so I calculate it as in the same way, and I get a linear function. Okay, linear variation sigma yx as a function of y I get as ky minus kh by 2. So it's a linear variation, and interestingly in this case the shear stress does not depend on viscosity. Now if you remember, in the Couette flow it was the opposite. The velocity solution does not depend on viscosity, but the shear stress of course is mu naught u by h constant, depends on viscosity. Now in the case of Poisson flow it's actually the opposite. The velocity depends on viscosity, as you have already seen in the form of the solution minus kh square by 2 mu naught y by h into 1 minus y by h. But the shear stress comes out to be ky minus kh by 2. So it only depends on the pressure gradient and the gap. Okay, it doesn't depend on viscosity. तो कितना प्रेशर ग्रेडियंट रख रहे हैं आप और गैप कितना, उस पे shear stress डिपेंड कर रहा है Poisson flow में. Now we can also plot this linear variation. So I have shown here, since k is negative, तो मैं assume कर रहा हूँ k negative ही Poisson flow के लिए. So it will be a linear variation like this, with at y is equal to 0 it is minus kh by 2, and since k is negative, so minus kh by 2 is a positive quantity. Okay, so I have already written that. On the right you can notice that for k is negative, sigma yx 0, 0 value is minus kh by 2, so it will be positive, whereas sigma yx at h, which is actually plus kh by 2, will be negative. So that's why the line is having a negative slope. It is varying from minus kh by 2 at y is equal to, it is varying from a positive value minus kh by 2, because k is negative. Okay, so minus kh by 2 is positive, यहाँ से ये variation plus kh by 2 तक जा रहा है, और because k is negative, so that's why it goes in the negative, on the negative side. And stress is plotted on the x axis with the y being, again जैसे कि हम प्रोफाइल्स बना रहे हैं वेलोसिटी की, वैसे ही हम स्ट्रेस की भी प्रोफाइल बना रहे हैं. तो हम y जो है वो गैप के अलॉन्ग है, तो लाइक उसी सेंस में उसको देख रहे हैं यहाँ पर भी, कि y एक्सिस पे हम अपनी y कोऑर्डिनेट को, या y ज्योमेट्रिक स्पेसिंग जो है हमारी, y जो है डिस्टेंस फ्रॉम द लोअर वॉल, उसको भी हम वैसे ही ले रहे हैं y एक्सिस पे, वर्टिकल ले रहे हैं मतलब सॉर्ट ऑफ. So all this is there. Now as I said, you have a linear variation of shear stress, and so the shear stress is 0 in the middle, right in the smack in the middle of the channel. You can see when h is equal, y is equal to h by 2, the shear stress becomes 0. So that's why the line passes through the point h by 2 in the y, on the y axis. So this is how the shear stress variation looks like. So shear stress is along negative x on upper surface. अब अपर सरफेस पे चूंकि shear stress की वैल्यू नेगेटिव है, तो हम ये कह सकते हैं कि this is the force exerted by the surface on the fluid. Now why we can say this? See, ये interpretation जो है, this is, you have to learn to make this interpretation. See, the moment you get a negative shear stress, it means the force is along the negative x direction. Now you already know the velocity solution. तो velocity solution upper surface पे ये है कि जैसे ही आप fluid side पे आएंगे upper surface से, you will find that the velocity starts to increase. तो अगर velocity neighborhood में increase कर रही है, तो इसका मतलब जो viscosity की forces हैं या frictional effects हैं जो आप कह सकते हैं fluid friction के, वो को क्या अटेम्प्ट करेंगे? वो अटेम्प्ट करेंगे कि दे विल लाइक टू अप्लाई ड्रैगिंग फोर्स ऑन दी अपर सरफेस, है ना, विच इज स्टेशनरी इन केस ऑफ पॉइजन फ्लो. तो दे विल ट्राई टू अप्लाई अ फोर्स इन द पॉजिटिव एक्स डायरेक्शन, द फ्लूइड ऑन द सरफेस. So it means by there will be an equal opposite reaction by the surface on the fluid, right? So fluid will exert, surface will exert a negative force in the negative x direction on the fluid. तो ये जो साइन आता है shear stress का, इसको इंटरप्रेट करने के लिए what I am suggesting is that you simply examine the local fluid flow velocity behavior in the vicinity of the surface, जिस surface पे आप shear stress की बात कर रहे हैं. तो अगर आप अपर सरफेस पे देख रहे हैं तो वहां पे जो बिहेवियर है फ्लूइड फ्लो का वो ये है कि जैसे ही आप फ्लूइड साइड आएंगे तो वेलोसिटी टेंड टू इंक्रीज. सो इट मींस दैट wall will try to decrease these velocities. So wall will apply a force on the fluid on the negative direction, and similarly fluid will try to increase the velocity of the wall, so it will apply a force in the plus x direction. Because my shear stress is coming out negative, so it means that this is nothing but force which is being exerted by the surface on the fluid, okay, at the top of course, क्योंकि top shear stress की बात हो रही है, वही negative है, which is actually plus kh by 2, but k being negative, that's why it is negative. Okay, so now if I now look at the Couette-Poiseuille flow general considerations, last में अब special cases के बाद हम कुछ अब हमारा जो जनरल सोल्यूशन आया था वो डायरेक्टली हम स्पेशल केसेस पे चले गए. एंड लेट अस नाउ लुक एट लेट अस एनालाइज द कंबाइंड केस ऑफ Couette एंड Poiseuille फ्लो, जिसमें अपर सरफेस इज आल्सो मूविंग एंड देयर इज अ मीन मोशन प्रेशर ग्रेडियंट. तो उसके जो जनरल बिहेवियर है, जनरल कैरेक्टर है, उसको एग्जामिन करते हैं. तो जनरल केस के लिए ये सोल्यूशन ऑलरेडी हम देख चुके हैं. So now let us see how we can very effectively analyze this by going into dimensionless world. तो ये जो dimensionless frameworks की बात मैंने पहले भी करी है लेक्चर में, जहाँ पे हमने आपको बेसिक इक्वेशंस को कन्वर्ट करना बताया था और फिर हमने बताया था कि ये क्यों करना चाहिए और इससे क्या एडवांटेजेस होते हैं. तो वहाँ तो हमने बेसिक इक्वेशंस को ही कन्वर्ट करके आपको पाई ग्रुप्स और ये सब आइडेंटिफाई करवाए थे. यहाँ पे क्या है कि यहाँ पे चूंकि सोल्यूशन ऑलरेडी हम कर चुके हैं, तो एक तो ये, दूसरी बात ये कि हम गवर्निंग इक्वेशंस को भी नॉन डायमेंशनल यहाँ भी कर सकते थे, पर अगर आपको एनालिटिकल सोल्यूशन मिल रहा है फ्रॉम द डायमेंशनल इक्वेशंस, देन देयर इज नो एडवांटेज इन कन्वर्टिंग इट फर्स्ट इनटू अ डायमेंशनलेस फॉर्म एंड देन गेटिंग द डायमेंशनलेस सोल्यूशन. रिमेंबर दिस, इफ माई गवर्निंग इक्वेशंस जो कि हमारे डायमेंशनल इक्वेशंस हैं, अगर वो एनालिटिकल सोल्यूशन एडमिट कर रहे हैं, अगर वो अलाउ कर रहे हैं, परमिट कर रहे हैं एनालिटिकल सोल्यूशन निकालना, देन वी शुड गो अहेड एंड ऑब्टेन द एनालिटिकल सोल्यूशन इन द डायमेंशनल फॉर्म इटसेल्फ. वहां पे इक्वेशंस को नॉन डायमेंशनल करने की कोई एडवांटेज नहीं होगी. बट वंस यू गेट द सोल्यूशन, देन द बिहेवियर कैन ऑलवेज बी एग्जामिन्ड बाय कन्वर्टिंग द सोल्यूशन इनटू डायमेंशनलेस फॉर्म. दिस इज व्हाट वी आर गोइंग टू शो यू हियर. अब इस बात को अप्लाई करके दिखाते हैं. सो इन दिस जनरल सोल्यूशन देयर आर 4 पैरामीटर्स, है ना. सोल्यूशन इज डिपेंडेंट ऑन 4 पैरामीटर्स. व्हाट आर दीज? One is the motion pressure gradient K, then there is a velocity of the upper surface U, and there is a gap, a channel gap H, and there is viscosity mu naught. Okay. So thus to investigate the flow behavior as a function of these parameters, it is a very much prudent and wise step to adopt dimensionless approach. Why? Because otherwise तो 4 parameters का effect इस function के ऊपर या इसके character के ऊपर it will take some doing. It will not be very easy. So let us convert the solution into dimensionless form and you will see the advantage instantly. तो अगर मैं कन्वर्ट करता हूं इस सोल्यूशन को डायमेंशनलेस फॉर्म में, तो मुझे क्या ध्यान रखना है कि मेरे वेरिएबल्स कौन से हैं। पैरामीटर्स को हम कभी भी कन्वर्ट नहीं करते हैं। हमने ये इक्वेशंस में भी बताया था आपको कि आप जो चीज़ें वैरी कर रही हैं, चाहे वो स्पेस कोऑर्डिनेट हो, टाइम हो, फ्लूइड वेलोसिटीज हो, फ्लूइड फ्लो वेरिएबल्स हो, वो सब कन्वर्ट किए जाएंगे, पैरामीटर्स नहीं किए जाएंगे। सो इस केस में हमारे पास दो ही वेरिएबल हैं, u और y इस सोल्यूशन में। सो दी आर द डायमेंशनल वेरिएबल्स एंड आई विल कन्वर्ट देम इनटू डायमेंशनलेस फॉर्म। तो इस केस में स्केल्स वगैरह बहुत इजी हैं, बिकॉज आई हैव द वेलोसिटी स्केल in the form of capital U, which is the velocity of the steadily moving upper surface. तो मैं उसी को यूज करता हूँ to find the to convert velocity into dimensionless form, and I have the channel gap h, which is relevant for me here, so I use it to convert y into dimensionless form. So u star y star are my dimensionless variables. So now if I plug them back, u और y की values अपने relation में plug करता हूँ in terms of u star and y star. So अगर मैं ऐसा करता हूँ तो you can see I get a final relation which is written as u star is equal to y star minus, then in the square brackets I have written the combination kh square by 2 mu naught capital U into y star multiplied by 1 minus y star. So this single parameter which I have written, this is a dimensionless parameter. आप इसके चेक कर सकते हो, इसके डायमेंशंस जो हैं वो नहीं आएंगे, कोई भी नेट डायमेंशन नहीं आएगा, इट विल बी अ डायमेंशनलेस पैरामीटर। सो हमारा जो ओरिजिनल डायमेंशनल सोल्यूशन था उसमें 4 पैरामीटर्स थे। The moment we convert it into dimensionless form, we get only one parameter. So see the big advantage. It's a drastic reduction from 4 dimensional parameters into a single non-dimensional parameter. And that single dimensionless parameter is what we can denote as alpha. And the physical meaning is that it's a dimensionless motion pressure gradient, क्योंकि k है basically उसमें involved, and this is proportional to k, alpha is proportional to k, so it means that basically I am dealing with a dimensionless motion pressure gradient. So now the behavior is easier to investigate because it becomes u star is equal to y star minus alpha y star into 1 minus y star. Similarly, I can convert the shear stress solution, linear जो था, सिग्मा वाई एक्स म्यू नॉट यू बाई एच, कंबाइंड केस के लिए ऑफकोर्स अब लिख रहे हैं, तो उस कंबाइंड केस के लिए आप डिफ्रेंशिएट करके निकाल सकते हैं यू का जो सोल्यूशन है म्यू नॉट इंटू डी यू डी वाई, उससे आप शेयर स्ट्रेस निकालेंगे. सो इफ यू वर्क इट आउट फ्रॉम द बेसिक्स यू विल गेट इट एज म्यू नॉट यू बाई एच प्लस के वाई माइनस के एच बाई 2. सो अगेन वी ट्रांसफॉर्म दिस इनटू अ डायमेंशनलेस फॉर्म. इसमें वेरिएबल हमारे पास शेयर स्ट्रेस है और वाई है. तो शेयर स्ट्रेस के लिए आई यूज दी combination mu naught u by h because mu naught u by h has the dimensions of stress. Okay, so I can use it as a scale of the shear stress, and and y ke liye I have the same scale which is h. Okay, so sigma yx v is mu naught u by h times sigma yx v star, and y is equal to y star h, and I put it back in my general relation for sigma yx, so I get everything written like this, and finally I get a relation which says that sigma yx star is equal to 2 alpha y star plus 1 minus alpha. So again this shear stress also depends on a single parameter alpha. Okay, वैसे तो इसमें k u h म्यू नॉट अगेन 4 पैरामीटर्स आ रहे थे. अगर आप डायमेंशनल शेयर स्ट्रेस की बात करें तो इट कंटेन्स म्यू नॉट u कैपिटल U H and K, बट अगेन जैसे ही आपने नॉन डायमेंशनल किया अगेन यू गेट द सिंगल पैरामीटर अल्फा. नाउ एज आई हैव सेड कंबाइंड केस में हमारी K की वैल्यू पॉजिटिव भी हो सकती है, नेगेटिव भी हो सकती है. पॉजिटिव का मतलब होगा कि इट इज गोइंग टू अपोज द मोशन ऑफ द अपर सरफेस, सो इट इज द एडवर्स प्रेशर ग्रेडियंट केस. एंड अगर K नेगेटिव होगा तब फिर हमें जो है favorable pressure gradient मिलेगा K negative में, and it will help increasing the velocities which are caused by the motion of the upper surface. So K के चूंकि proportional है alpha, so K negative gives alpha negative and K positive gives alpha positive. So I have written here k less than 0 or alpha less than 0 is the aiding scenario, favorable pressure gradient, and alpha greater than 0 is the opposing scenario or the adverse pressure gradient. Now it is interesting to examine the behavior of this flow as alpha is varied via the relations. ये जो हमारे पास relations हैं sigma yx star की u star की, और sigma yx star, since it is the only shear stress present in the flow, only stress rather present in the flow, so I'm just denoting it as tau star, okay, forgetting the subscripts y and x, because this is the only component, non-zero component there in the flow, in this type of unidirectional flow. So let us move forwards from here. So let us calculate the flow rate now. So the first thing that is of interest now, हम ये डायमेंशनलेस रिलेशन से बिहेवियर तो एग्जामिन कर सकते हैं. अब हम सबसे पहले आते हैं फ्लो रेट निकाल के देखते हैं फॉर दिस Quetelet-Poiseuille फ्लो. So when we calculate the flow rate, we find that we can calculate it per unit width of the channel, and it is simply evaluated as 0 to h u dy, and so I have this converted into dimensionless variables. So u is written as u capital U star, and y is y star h, so it becomes u star dy star, and of course the limits are now 0 to 1, because y star की लिमिट 0 to 1 है, अगर आपकी y की लिमिट 0 to h है. So I can now put the value of u star, which is y star minus alpha y star 1 minus y star here in the integral. So and so on the left I have a dimensionless sort of volume flow rate per unit width of the channel for Quetelet-Poiseuille flow, and this is coming out as so the integration is pretty straightforward, and finally I get small q star is half minus alpha by 6. So it's a very interesting linear kind of a relation with the slope of minus 1 by 6. So the plot is shown below, and when alpha is 0, the value is alpha 0 means it's a pure Quetelet flow. So its value q star value is half, which is actually the flow rate per unit width of the channel expressed in dimensionless form divided by u and h also. So it is this. More interestingly, when alpha becomes plus 3, you get a 0 value. So it means that जो हमारा adverse pressure gradient का scenario है, because alpha is positive, plus 3 means it is positive, so it is basically adverse pressure gradient or opposing case. So opposing case में you can get a net zero flow rate also. कोई net flow rate नहीं होगा, because the two causes are opposing and their effects eventually cancel out. So actually fluid motion तो हो रहा होगा, velocities would be there, you can check, because if I put alpha as plus 3 velocity के solution में, so velocity solution does come out to be some expression, okay, y star minus alpha y star into 1 minus y star में alpha 3 रखने से वो एक वेरिएशन आ जाएगा फंक्शन. तो वेलोसिटी तो है, पर नेट फ्लो रेट यानी उसका जो इंटीग्रेशन करके फ्लो रेट निकालते हैं वो 0 है. तो ये नो फ्लो रेट कंडीशन कहलाती है, अल्फा इज इक्वल टू प्लस 3. एंड सो अगर अल्फा लेस है प्लस 3 से, सो यू विल गेट पॉजिटिव वैल्यूज ऑफ क्यू स्टार. सो पॉजिटिव मीन्स द नेट डिस्चार्ज इन द डायरेक्शन ऑफ कैपिटल यू, एंड अगर अल्फा प्लस 3 से बड़ा हो जाएगा, इंक्रीज कर देंगे आप प्लस 3 से ज़्यादा, तब यू विल गेट अ नेट डिस्चार्ज ऑपोजिट टू यू, बिकॉज यू विल गेट नेगेटिव वैल्यूज ऑफ क्यू स्टार. So now, as a self-learning exercise to end this lecture, as a self-learning exercise, try to sort of analyze the Quetelet-Poiseuille flow using these dimensionless solutions. ये मैंने deliberately आप सब students के लिए ये exercise छोड़ी है, so that you not only are able to cement the ideas, but you also understand the Couette-Poiseuille, the general solution that we have for the white channels. Very, you are able to understand it in a deeper way. So using these dimensionless solutions, you can analyze it very easily, क्योंकि आपके जो पैरामीटर्स हैं वो 4 ना रह के एक कंबाइन होके एक डायमेंशनलेस प्रेशर ग्रेडियंट बन जाता है अल्फा. So I pose some questions and you have to answer the following. Show that there is a possibility of zero velocity points, which we call as stagnation points, inside the channel for this range. Of course, inside the channel means y star varies from 0 to 1 only for alpha greater than +1. Remember, क्योंकि aiding case में you don't expect any stagnation point, opposing में ये हो सकता है, but opposing में भी alpha greater than +1 के लिए ये possible होगा inside the channel. So you have to prove this result, and I've already given the answer. Also find the location of such points. Okay, यानी वो point भी बताना है ys star जहाँ पे आपकी u 0 हो जाएगी alpha greater than +1 केस में. So the answer is already given here. And the second question is, show that for alpha -1, यानी favorable pressure gradient, adverse नहीं है, favorable है, the dimensionless shear stress or shear stress on the upper wall becomes 0. So this is interesting. Upper wall जो कि moving wall है उस पर actually कोई shear stress ही नहीं होगा, 0 हो जाएगा when the pressure gradient, the helping pressure gradient is a specific value, alpha is equal to -1. So while for the lower wall, alpha +1, the shear stress on lower wall becomes 0. So lower wall पे adverse pressure gradient के केस में +1 पे shear 0 हो जाएगा, और upper wall पे favorable pressure gradient alpha is equal to dimensionless gradient, pressure gradient alpha is equal to -1 पे shear will be 0. So this is something very interesting. Third question is, show that u star attains the maximum minimum value inside channel for this critical value of y star, and show that for alpha -1 a maximum is attained, while for alpha +1 a minimum is value of u star is attained inside the channel. Further show that u max यानी जो वैल्यू होगी, मैक्सिमम मिनिमम जो वैल्यूज आएंगी u स्टार की, वो ये इन टर्म्स ऑफ अल्फा ये वैल्यूज होंगी, एज अ फंक्शन ऑफ अल्फा ये वैल्यूज मिलेंगी. फॉर अल्फा -1 आपको फॉर अल्फा लेस देन -1 मैक्सिमम मिलेगा, एंड u स्टार मिनिमम विल बी दिस वैल्यू फॉर अल्फा ग्रेटर देन +1. So these are the results that you have to prove, the maximum velocities and minimum velocities, where they will be located and what will be the magnitudes for the cases of aiding and opposing pressure gradients. Okay. Now notice that fourth question is saying that show that for alpha greater than +1 you have negative velocities, which means velocities in the negative x or opposite direction में to the upper surface, जो upper surface move हो रहा है उसके opposite direction में. So u star is negative for this range of y star, or this much you can say range of values of y in the channel. Okay. And finally, because you have basically, by answering these 4 questions, you have got the entire details of the flow characteristics for both alpha greater than 0 and less than 0, और +1 से ज़्यादा और +1 से और -1 से लेस, सबकी कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स आपको पता चल चुकी हैं, और एग्जैक्टली अल्फा इज इक्वल टू -1 और +1 पे कैसा बिहेवियर है वो भी आपको मालूम हो गया है क्वेश्चन नंबर 2 से. तो अब आप, इट इज़ इंटरेस्टिंग एक्सरसाइज टू प्लॉट u स्टार वर्सेस y स्टार कर्व्स फॉर द 5 वैल्यूज ऑफ अल्फा दैट आई हैव गिवन यू. इसमें एक तो डेलिबरेटली अल्फा 0 है, सो दैट इज सिंपली द Couette फ्लो, no pressure gradient, and then there is 2 values on the favorable pressure gradient side, and there is 2 values on the there are 2 values on the adverse pressure gradient side, -2, -1, are the favorable pressure gradients and +1 +2 are the adverse pressure gradients. So ये अगर 5 alphas के लिए if you correctly plot the U star versus Y star, अगेन इसको प्लॉट करने के लिए Y स्टार को Y एक्सिस पे लीजिए और U स्टार को X एक्सिस पे, द वे वी शो द वेलोसिटी प्रोफाइल्स. सो if you do these questions yourself, by and large you'll have a very good understanding of Couette-Poiseuille flows, and जो टाइप 1 एग्जैक्ट सोल्यूशन हमने इस लेक्चर में देखा है, वाइट चैनल सॉल्यूशंस, वो आपको बिल्कुल क्लियर हो जाएंगे. थैंक यू वेरी मच.